Las Vegas didn't build the future of entertainment. It built the world's most expensive screensaver. The Sphere is a $2.3 billion glow-up with zero soul, a corporate flex dressed like a miracle, and tonight we're pulling the plug. Stick around, because you're about to learn exactly why the tech can't outrun the math, how residencies, maintenance, and half-empty seats quietly bleed cash, why the Exosphere's viral selfies don't convert to revenue, what's happening behind the scenes with burnout and calibration, how Vegas tourism shifts are squeezing the middle-class audience this place needs, and the only pivots that might save this neon monument from becoming a cautionary tale about bigger, not always being better. Let's start with why the Sphere even exists. Vegas sells escalation. Louder, brighter, bigger. In 2018, James Dolan promised something so audacious it sounded like satire. A 366-foot tall, 516-foot wide glowing orb, skinned in 1.2 million LED tiles, a 16K interior wall, 167,000 speakers, and a budget that ballooned to $2.3 billion before the doors even opened. By the time the first show hit in 2023, the pitch was simple. Forget arenas, forget theaters. This is the room that makes reality jealous. Opening night delivered the illusion. A-list residency, a camera-loving skyline, the internet hypnotized by a giant emoji eyeballing the strip. For a minute, it felt like Vegas did it again. But the one thing Vegas loves more than a spectacle is a balance sheet. And that's where the dream started blinking. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Sphere is a venue without a casino. That means no slot machines to subsidize cheap tickets. No hotel rooms printing money while the headliner plays. The model is brutally simple: tickets, sponsorships, and ads on the Exosphere. That's it. You have to fill 18,000 seats, night after night, with a show that costs more to stage than most tours, in a building where even a routine repair feels like a NASA line item. Sellouts should be the victory lap. Instead, they barely move the needle. Why? Because everything inside the Sphere is custom. Custom seats, custom speakers, custom visuals, custom software. Custom is a nice way of saying nothing is cheap, nothing is fast, and nothing is standard. When a single piece of gear runs into 5 or 6 figures, your budget becomes a crisis fund. Add month-after-month power bills that look like a small nation's GDP and round-the-clock calibration teams that keep the illusion stitched together. The audience sees magic. The staff sees math, sweat, and a clock that never stops. Now layer the residency problem on top. To justify those ticket prices, every artist needs a bespoke, three-dimensional visual universe that actually uses the Sphere's canvas. That means lead times, production teams, creative revisions, and a pipeline that moves slower than Vegas attention spans. You can't just drop a standard arena show in here and call it a day. The building demands a reinvention every time, and reinvention isn't cheap. Meanwhile, look outside. The Exosphere is the city's favorite free show. Everyone has seen it. Giant eyeballs, happy faces, sports logos, brand takeovers. It's the postcard of modern Vegas. But here's the irony. Most of the people who film it never go inside. The photo is the product. The post is the payoff. That's the trap of our era: viral visibility without transactional gravity. The Exosphere prints impressions, not profit. Let's talk audience. Vegas used to be the great middle-class playground. Flights were cheap, rooms were cheaper, and shows felt like a splurge you could justify. That's changing. Airfare and resort fees are up. Food is up. Rooms are up. Conventions ebb and flow. Visitors are spending more on the basics and less on entertainment. So when a venue without a casino asks the average tourist to drop $120 to $400 per seat, often for a non-celebrity film experience, you're asking them to choose the Sphere over dinner, drinks, and maybe their next day's budget. Some will do it once. Fewer will do it twice. Inside, the pressure is relentless. Technicians describe a treadmill: constant recalibration, heat issues, tight turnarounds, and the stress of making bleeding-edge tech look effortless. High turnover in hospitality and ops doesn't help. And when job postings suddenly vanish or teams quietly shrink, that's not optimization. That's triage. So what went wrong? Vision or execution? Honestly, a bit of both. The Sphere is a miracle of engineering in search of a sustainable use case. It's solved for wow, not why. Vegas has always been a feeling engine. The great rooms, old showrooms, late-night lounges, intimate theaters, made people feel part of something. The Sphere makes you feel small inside something. That difference matters. Spectacle without story becomes a screensaver. Stunning for 30 seconds, forgettable in 30 days. Let's look at the public reaction. Reviews are polarized. Some walk out saying it changed what a show can be. Others call it overpriced and hollow. That split is the warning label. When an experience amazes but doesn't bond, you get hype spikes instead of loyal gravity. And investors can read that vibe. Early share price pops turned into hard questions. If your best nights barely bend the curve and your worst nights burn cash, what exactly is the plan? Speaking of plans, expansion headlines sound bold. New orbs in new markets, global partners, fresh capital. But if the core model depends on constant custom content, premium prices, and a delicate machine running without a hiccup, duplicating it just multiplies the friction. Investors here scale. Operators here copy-paste a headache. So, how do you fix a masterpiece that forgot why it exists? You stop pretending it's a theater and start admitting it's a platform. 3 pivots can give this building a second life. First, treat programming like a season, not a one-off. Bundle residencies, films, esports, and special events into a rotating slate with shared tooling, shared creative assets, and modular scene libraries. The audience shouldn't feel like they're paying for R&D. They should feel like they're buying into a living, evolving canvas that never sits still. Tier the tickets accordingly. Weekday discovery nights under $60, premium premieres on weekends, dynamic pricing that reward early booking and locals. Second, unlock daytime utility. The Sphere can host film festivals, product launches, scientific exhibitions, simulation experiences, even education partnerships that turn the tech into a field trip for grown-ups. Monetize off hours with B2B, developer conferences, immersive screenings, cinematic concerts where the artist isn't physically present, but the experience is still epic. If the room is empty 200 days a year, that's not exclusivity. That's waste. Third, build a loyalty loop that isn't just a mailing list. Tie and strip partners for packages that actually feel like value. Sphere plus dining, Sphere plus museum, Sphere plus night swim. If you don't have casino revenue, you need relationship revenue. Make it easy to return with friends, not just post once and move on.
Locals passes.
Family matinees. Student nights. Give the community reasons to treat the building as a habit, not a novelty. Will any of this work if the macro trends keep pushing the middle class out of Vegas? That's the existential question. Because when the city becomes a luxury theme park, the venues that survive are the ones subsidized by hotels and whales. The Sphere doesn't have that leverage. It has to earn its margin ticket by ticket, show by show, partnership by partnership. That means designing for repeatability, not just virality. Let's address the counterargument. It's early. The tech will get cheaper. The pipeline will stabilize. Maybe. But time is expensive when the power bill never sleeps. If your runway is measured in quarters, not years, eventually is indistinguishable from never. The wins need to compound now that there's also the soul problem, and this one is harder to fix with spreadsheets. Old Vegas was human. Messy, risky, alive. The Sphere is immaculate.
Perfect.
Sanitized. It dazzles, but it rarely surprises, and surprise is the drug people actually chased here. The fix isn't to dumb it down, it's to rough it up. Put weird artists in the room. Hand it to indie studios. Commission experimental shorts between the blockbusters. Host a midnight series that feels illegal to miss. The building can stay perfect. The programming can't. So where does that leave us? The Sphere isn't a failure.